to go into crazy detail because we did a whole episode with that with our guy Steve. So this is how I did it, guys. Okay, so as you guys know, and I'm going to walk you guys through exactly how I was able to escape the 9-to-5 career, even though my job technically wasn't really a 9-to-5 job. So as you guys know, I was a special agent of Homeland Security Investigations, right? HSI. I was earning about $120K per year, okay, on paper. And after taxes, I was taking about $7,000 a month. Okay, being 100% transparent with you guys. So earning about $3,500 every 2 weeks. Okay, because they kill you on taxes when you work for the government. And I was single. I didn't have any deductions, so they were just destroying me. I was getting my taxes withheld at the highest rate, right? So I started my business, right? My fitness business in 2019. Okay, Unplugged Fitness. And getting into it, I didn't know anything about sales or starting up a fitness business or anything like that. So what did I do? I got a mentor right away. How was I able to get a mentor? I was able to get a mentor because I had money saved and money coming in from a job, okay? Which in this case was a good 6-figure career, right? But I was like, you know what? I'm going to get another business going so that I can go ahead and get some extra income, because you never know what the hell, man, when you work for someone else, that they could always take your job from you. As you guys know, I was involved in a stupid ass internal affairs investigation, which I ended up getting cleared of, right? There was no wrongdoing. I didn't do anything. But as you guys know, anytime an accusation comes in, they have to fucking investigate. So that's what made me kind of say, okay, you know what? I need to put my destiny in my own hands. So I met with Brandon Carter in February of 2019. Started my fitness business, Unplugged Fitness, right? Started generating money. I took the course. I went through all the modules, learned how to do it, followed through. Okay, that's the most important thing. I followed through. I didn't just buy it and say, oh, okay, because a lot of people buy courses or whatever, and they don't actually go through it. Guys, the courses, the content, the knowledge, it only helps you if you fucking apply it, okay? That's what I'm telling you guys. Before you even think about starting a business, you need to get out of the 9-to-5 mindset, because you're going to have to go ahead and do this studying when it's not 9-to-5, motherfuckers. You're going to have to do this shit when you don't feel like it. You're going to have to do this shit when you feel tired, when you feel sick, when you want to go chill with the chick instead of chilling with her. You got to fucking do this shit. You got to make sacrifices, okay? So for me, my driving force was I don't want anyone to tell me how and when and if I could get fired from a job. So I said, you know, I'm gonna start a business, right? So I started the business, learned the stuff from Brandon. And I was able to scale up and get my fitness business to earning about $10,000 a month consistently. Okay, right around this time, I was making my money for my government job, and I was making my money with my fitness business. I was bringing in about $20,000 per month at this point. You know, between $15,000 and $20,000 a month. Okay, with 2 incomes. Then I started my YouTube channel. I invested that money that I made from the fitness business, and I made a YouTube channel, known as Unplugged Fitness back then, and I was making fitness videos. Right now, you hit a fucking crossroads. We know fitness YouTube channels don't do so well. Okay, and the channel, it was okay. It was growing at a decent rate, but you know, fitness is a dead genre now. Let's keep it all the way 1,000. You know, look at any big fitness YouTube channel now. It's more about vlogging and lifestyle. All right, so I was like, fuck, I need to transition. Well, luckily for me, I had a skill. I was a pretty good womanizer, okay? So I started getting into the RP space. I had always, enjoyed this type of content, everything else like that. And I met Fresh through Solo TV 84. Shout out to Solo TV 84. And we started working together. We're like, you know what, man? Because he was also a YouTuber, but he was a YouTuber in a dying genre, right? Pranks. So we're like, you know what? We're both pretty good with the ladies. Let's fucking, share some sauce with the guys. And we knew, right, from taking in Red Pill content, a lot of guys needed this type of shit. Okay, a lot of guys are struggling dealing with girls and everything else like that. So the market wants it. So we're like, okay, let's go ahead and do a podcast. So we started doing the live streams, and it started to do pretty well. And I said, you know what, fuck it. Let's go all the way in. If we're going to do a podcast, this StreamYard shit is poverty. It's trash. It's not good. If we're going to diversify ourselves, we need to have a goddamn fucking studio. So I was like, cool. So guys, I took $40,000 of my own money, all right? And I invested it in the studio, all right? And I'm not going to lie to y'all, it was fucking scary, bro. Like going and moving into the apartment, buying the equipment, getting a MacBook, right? Getting wires, cameras, all that other stuff.
Fuck Max.
What was that?
Fuck Max.
Thank you, Chris.
What'd you say?
He said fuck Max. Because he had to use the Mac in the beginning.
Oh, is it Max?
Yeah, Max, like MacBook.
Oh, Mac.
Yeah, Mac.
He said Max.
Max, plural.
Oh.
Yeah, but I know it's tough to understand. Anyway, so we started out, guys, with a Rodecaster Pro, 4 microphones, okay? We're using the Shores, and we were using Sony
6400?
A6400.
Yep.
So starting out, guys, we started out with good equipment. We started out with really fucking good equipment. And my biggest thing was in the beginning, I was like, listen, if we're going to do this podcast, we need to at least start at very good video and audio quality. Okay. And that's kind of what set us apart, because I was looking at our, other people, and I was like, you know what? If we're going to be able to really come in and make a dent, how are we going to do it? We're going to do it with production quality, good content, and being consistent. Okay. And getting a fucking studio, because no one else had it. So I was like, yo, we need to like change how everyone else is doing their stuff. So we ended up getting the studio, put the money down. It was fucking scary, but we got in and we started building the shit up, right? You guys could go look at my Instagram, and I could show you. Could you pull up my Instagram real quick, Chris?
Yep.
On the side, and I'll show them what I'm talking about. Because everyone sees the studio finished now. Y'all don't know what it was like before. And I'm going to show you guys here in a second on my Instagram account. So, hold on. I took notes on this so I could go over the entire thing with you guys. So we started doing a podcast, right? And the channel started to grow. Bam. Then what happens? They pull me into the office. Hey, your YouTube channel. This is right around 10,000 subscribers. Hey, your YouTube channel, man. We don't really like it. You're over here talking about controversial topics, blah, blah, blah. You're a federal agent. You can't be like, speaking like this on the internet. You got to testify and stuff, which I completely understand where they were coming from. So I had to make a choice. Okay. And at that point, we had our YouTube guy was moving down to Miami. Yeah. Fresh was getting ready to quit his job because he hated where he was working. He wanted to leave. Chris, you could just keep it reserved for now. Yeah. Fresh hated where he worked, and then Chris was starting to put in more hours. So I was like, bro, I can't turn my back on everybody now. What the fuck, man? People are making serious investments depending on me. So I was like, no. And so I said, fuck it. I resigned. I left December 4th of 2020 was my last day with the U.S. government, right? I had no regrets. It was a great career. But at that point, I was making pretty much like maybe 1.2 to 1, between 1 to 1.2 times as much with my entrepreneurial ventures as I did with my government job. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. Don't quit your job until your business is earning at least 1.5 to 2 times as much money as your regular job. And the reason why I say that, because I would have probably stuck around with the government much longer had they not told me, give me that ultimatum. But the thing is that you want to be in a position, guys, where you're able to still take the money that you make from the business and invest it back into the business without necessarily going broke and poor and not being able to eat. You understand what I'm saying? So the benefit that I had was I was able to take that government income, right, invest into the business, and then the money that I started to make from and get it going up quickly, right, that 40K, all that other stuff, get it going quickly. And then once the business started to generate money, and you guys notice, I started to investing in the studio a lot more. I started buying more equipment. I started buying more cameras. I started getting better mixers. I started getting better lenses. And I just invested right back into the business. And it lets you, we always talk about making money. Money loves speed, right? So when you're making money, right, and you're on a momentum, you want to continue to use that momentum to push forward. And what I did was I said, okay, people are really loving the content. The channel's growing at a good rate. Bam, let's continue to invest in this bad boy and keep pushing the content quality up. And then at the time, no one else is doing what we're doing. No one, even to this day, is doing what the fuck we're doing on YouTube as far as like, bringing guests in, doing high quality interviews, high quality production, etc. So my thing, I realized was our thing is we're going to have great content, consistency, right, and good production quality, and do this shit live. So that's what I was able to do, how I was able to escape. Now, obviously, we had some shortcomings there, right? I'd had a YouTube channel that like didn't necessarily have a niche that people wanted, right, which was fitness. We hit the other situation where, they told me at my job, hey, you got to leave. And at that point, you got to be able to be ready, like, yo, if you're going to make a decision, be ready to make that decision. But luckily, I had money saved. And I had that earned income from before that I was able to invest in the business. That's the beauty of having a job when you start your business, guys, because what you're going to do is you're going to buy your freedom back. You understand? Now, with that said, when I say freedom, I don't mean freedom as in like you being free, having more time, because once you become an entrepreneur, you're going to have less free time. What I mean is freedom from having a boss and working a 9 to 5. That's what I'm saying. So I gave a mouthful there. Pause. And then let's see here if I missed anything for y'all. Luckily, yep. I think, and that's basically how I was able to escape, guys, the 9 to 5 job. Luckily for me, I liked it, but you might not necessarily like your job. So you might be able to get out on that timeline sooner. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, man. Fire. And I know people are probably going to ask some good questions. So, don't worry, guys. We'll have a little small Q&A at the end. Okay. Any super chats real quick, and then we'll get into the next part.
Roy Barnes.
Okay. How do you handle a friend that owes you money? I mentioned it and he blocked me. It's 500. Should I let it go? I'm doing well, but it is a principle. He's a piece of shit for that, bro.
God damn. I think I said block.
Yeah. Don't lend people money, bro. Unless like like this is, yeah, man, fucking stupid. In regards to an LLC.
I just think, man,
go ahead.
If someone had the decency and respect to lend you some money, and you don't pay them back, you're a piece of shit.
You are a piece of shit.
Bro, They don't have to lend you the money at all. They can say, you know what, fuck you, I'll keep my money. Say, you know what, I'm gonna trust you for a little bit. Take some money, but pay it back. In fact, I didn't pay it back, bro. Piece of shit.
Yeah, real talk, bro. Like I can't sleep if I owe people money.
I can't breathe properly if I owe people money. Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking all the time, hold on, I owe you money. I'm seeing you every day, I owe you money. No, hell no, bro. I gotta pay you back. Have to.
Yeah. Even people I hate, I'll pay the money, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna owe nobody money. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
bank.
fuck that shit. Yeah.
I paid him. Nigga, I owe you money. I'll pay you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. In regards to an LLC, did you guys borrow money using a business credit card to start up the business, or was it all capital saved money from jobs? All our own capital, bro.
yeah.
All our own capital. Like I used credit cards. This is what I did. I used business credit cards to pay for everything. However, I had the money already, so I was able to reap the benefits of the points. $10 from RSG 426. Can we get an episode on how to invest into turnkey properties out of state? Yes, we can. We can do that. JBX, the last 2 shows have been fire. The way you guys talk on the sacrifice you had to make putting extra hours outside your regular jobs is inspiring. Absolutely, bro. $50 from Wolf of Bushido. I'm the Black Modern Samurai and approve this message FNF Goats of the RP space. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys the studio real fast on my Instagram. And you guys can go ahead and check me out if you guys want. It's Unplugged Fit on Instagram. Chris, could pull that up. And here, you know, people always forget. People think like, oh, y'all just had a lit, studio. Man, we had to build this bitch from scratch. And guys, I didn't know nothing about production, cameras, audio, none of that stuff. I had to learn it myself and then build the studio up. Everything you guys see here, man, is basically me putting it to, having an imagination of putting it together. And then, Chris bringing some of the stuff to life as far as like, the Patreon sign, the Fresh and Fit sign behind me. But all the designs and everything else like that, I came up with it. And then also the table, we hired a guy to do the graffiti, which Chris found a guy and he did a really great job. But I had the vision and Chris was able to help me bring it to life. So it was great, man. Okay, so go ahead and can we enlarge it real quick? Okay, so scroll down real fast. This is my Instagram, guys. Right there, bam. Right. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna no.
Wait, is that hair?
Yes, that's me with hair. Yes, I have more hair. No, Chris, go back up.
Like it said here.
That one right there with me in the Fresh and Fit podcast. Yep, that one. Okay, so go ahead and start screening through real quick. So this is what the apartment looked like before, guys. Nothing in there, as you guys can see.
The same trucker boots, man.
Hey, man.
These are
Some things never change, bro. Bam, right? I think this was a lower floor, but you guys get the idea.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what the apartment looked like before. And then scroll again. So that's the table getting built. Right? There's Chris. Look at Chris look crazy, bro. Hairline and the way back. Look at fresh fat ass. And then that's the spot when we got it. Right? And then next, that's the shout out to Chris. He got this done at Tropicolor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Out there in Miami Beach.
Shout out to them.
Right? Because I had the design made and I said, we need a big Fresh and Fit sign in the thing.
And fun fact, Chris used to work there.
Yep.
Yes.
And he used to be a teacher.
Yes.
2 years.
And then next one. And then this is the Patreon sign. I wanted the Grand Theft Auto. When I had the vision, guys, in my head of how I want to do. When you guys have a dream, you need to think about that shit all the time, and you need to let that shit put you to sleep and wake up and make that shit a fucking reality. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I had this vision in my head, and I was like, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, fuck yeah. And that's the emblem that we had, and then we were able to get the Miami background in it. Okay? I had all this. I was literally going to sleep with this shit in my mind, bro. Okay, next one.
Shout out to me.
Shout out to Chris for making that happen too. There's the fucking rug, right?
Shit's pain in the ass, man.
That shit was terrible, bro. Putting that rug together. And then you guys can see the sound panels there and the tripods, right? Because again, I sent Chris the concept and he was able to go to Tropicolor and we got that Patreon sign and that's all the sound panels, right? And the chairs. Okay, we could play it with the sound actually, Chris.
Nah.
Nah?
It might have some music in there.
No, there's no music in this one.
You sure?
No, that one will have music, not that one. Next one. Next slide won't have music.
Behind the scenes look,
okay.
man.
Yeah, so this is like our first day of filming, October
My boy
26th.
Roberto, the best YouTube videographer ever.
That's my guy, Roberto.
My barber Josh
That's me getting
over
a haircut.
there. Get a haircut. Oh,
Look at the
get around
studio,
these
bro.
cameras. Oh, man.
Who's talking?
Behind the scenes look,
me.
man.
That's you?
Yeah, it's me.
You're some gay as hell.
Yeah,
My boy Roberto, the best YouTube videographer
Next one.
ever.
Next one. Next. And then this is it. Like later on. This is right around maybe December-ish. Okay.
Late nights,
As
man.
you guys can see, by putting more panels up and shit like that. Okay, next one. And then this is that was the most recent, which when I posted this. When did I post this? October 26, 2021. Yep. So I posted this a year later. That's what the studio looked like a year now. And then Chris, real quick, hit camera 8.
Yep.
And then now, if you guys look, and you could close the Instagram. Right, and this is the studio now, guys. Fucking way better. We got a way better mixer. A whole other. We're running 2 PCs now. Chris got 4 monitors. Okay. We got more. We got the chairs, but we upgraded them to leather ones. We got slider cameras. You guys can see now. We got another camera going up and down. More lights, TV, couch, all that. This another up and downer. You guys, yeah, we could go through all the camera angles and flex a little bit too. Why not? Right. But which one is that one that just went out?
Darkness.
Over there.
That was a Walt camera.
Yeah.
You know, so I had a vision for all this stuff, guys, and we wanted to make it look super Miami, make it professional, give you guys the content in a certain way where you guys are able to digest it and enjoy it and literally be like, fuck, like this gives me very Miami-ish vibes. And you got to imagine it before it becomes real. And that's what it comes down to. I need you guys to become obsessed with it. And the only way that you're going to see through to get your vision become a reality is you're going to have to get out of that 9-to-5 mindset. You're going to take that 9-to-5 income and create your vision, man. But you're not going to be able to do it if you only want to work 9 to 5. You're going to have to give up weekends. You're going to have to give up bitches. You're going to have to give up time. You're going to have to give up friends. You're going to have to give up certain social situations. You're going to have to put yourself in uncomfortable predicaments to get what the fuck you want, guys. When we're building the studio, bro, we were, man, the host had to take a seat, man. And here's the thing. It doesn't get any better, really, to be honest with y'all, man. Like, I got more girls. Guys, I was going on more dates, getting more chicks when I was working for the government than I am now. By fucking far. And I had more hair too, nigga. So the reality is not every one of you is cut out to be an entrepreneur. And that's okay. That's okay. Let me make that extremely fucking clear. There's nothing wrong with having a regular job. Okay? This ain't for everybody. It really isn't. You guys look at my Instagram, you see me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning, still fucking working on shit. To this day. You know, to this day, still improving the quality of the studio, man. Getting new boom arms, all that shit. New microphones. I don't fuck around. It takes a certain level of being a crazy piece of shit to be able to do this stuff, man. You know? So that's what I want you guys to understand is that this is not easy. You know, you don't become an entrepreneur to get more time. If anything, you're going to spend more time doing this stuff, which is why most people are not cut out for it.
Don DeMarco, man.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. So yeah, man, looking back on it, man, like it really like I'm just getting memories right now of like all the crazy sacrifices we had to make, you know, to make this thing happen. I mean, between losing chicks, flaking on dates, sorry, we can't go. Hey, can't hang out with you ladies, having baddies lined up and being like, nah, sorry, we got a show at 12 in the midnight. Remember, we used to do our shows late at night.
Facts.
You know, having niggas break into the studio, damn near killing them. All this crazy shit, bro. Haters coming at us. Are you prepared to deal with that bullshit, guys? The only difference between us and you guys, if you decide to go down this entrepreneurial route, is people won't be able to share with you on YouTube. You'll have to suffer in fucking silence. Yeah, are you ready for that?
I think the main thing is showing up every day, knowing that it may not work out or it could work out, but at the same time, you have a vision for where you want to go. So, I mean, look, man, we could have said, you know what, we'll do it for a little bit, see what happens, and hopefully it works out. But no, Myron had a vision, you know, he had the actual thought process and the money as well. Chris had the network at the time. And pretty much, you know, it's more like we had to sink our swim mentality.
Mindset, yeah.
In terms of like, okay, you know what? Either it's going to work or not. And overall, like, man, the Honda Civic that you had?
Yeah.
Wait,
that's right, man.
Chris, we got a video or no?
I think on this page or my page.
Yeah, nigga rolled up in a Honda Civic. Where was it?
It was it's a 2002.
I should have no brakes,
and I was
man.
like, bro, you trying to die? It had no brakes.
I still have it.
Really old. And I'm like, bro, you can afford a nicer car. He's like, nah, I'm focused on a vision. So, hey, man, the Myron that you see today, the same Myron I met 2 years ago, pretty much.